How's it brawling, guys? Dr. Nemesis here, coming at you today in I'm not going to say grim, because we have no idea, but in a speculation video in regards to Brawl Stars. So, you guys have probably seen all the other YouTubers cover it. Everyone's kind of up in the air. Reddit's taking a shit. Everyone just has no clue what's going on. And I think I have some answers. I think I can give you guys a legitimate perspective on why things might go one way or why things might go another way. So, let's talk about what's going on. First things first, if you go on any Brawl Stars social media, they have removed everything except for one image on Instagram, which is a shadow of 5 characters. And it does look, from an artist's perspective, I am actually a professional artist, and I can tell you guys that just by looking at the way that the figures are positioned, it does look like they are walking towards us. Now, does that mean that it's a sunset and for sure they're walking towards us? No. They could flip the perspective very easily and they could be walking away from us. So it could go either way. It is legitimately 50-50. Now, the other image you might see is on their YouTube channel for a live stream that's going to be going on later tonight. As of the time of recording this video, it's in a couple of hours. So, you'll be able to see the We Need to Talk live stream. So, what does this mean for Brawl Stars? So, a couple of months ago, I made a speculation video on why or what's going to happen as far as Brawl Stars. Okay, I was very adamant about being positive about stop harassing the developers for little bullshit things and just be positive about it so that they can feel confident in releasing it for global. In that video, I talked about how they were going to take their summer break, and then after their summer break, for the next couple of weeks, they would be analyzing the data, okay? Analyzing data that's going to allow them to know whether or not the game is officially ready for global release. Now, it has been more than a couple of weeks, and that's not surprising because Supercell is a very, very nitpicky company. We've seen it many times before. The most popular game that I can think of that they just completely decided no thanks and they got rid of it is Smashland. You guys can find those images all over the internet. Smashland, they had it in beta and then they just killed it because it just wasn't doing as well as they wanted it to. So Brawl Stars has been in development for over a year. I think it's a year and a half already. No, a little over a year. Okay. So, what does all of this mean? What can we speculate? What can we take away? What's going on? Okay. So we're going to start with let's start with the negatives. Okay, I'm gonna start negative and end positive. Okay, so when you're thinking of killing a game from a developer standpoint, you have to understand Supercell's perspective on things. Okay, now their data is very important to them. It's the lifeblood of everything that they do. Okay, so unfortunately, like I said in that other video, the problem with Brawl Stars is how it was welcomed. Okay, it was not welcomed with open arms and excitement. It was welcomed with meh. It was welcomed with nobody really caring. Every single YouTuber that was on that live stream to introduce Brawl Stars said, yeah, no thanks. And just, no, Now, I have heard, I haven't officially looked, but I have heard that Chief Pat and Molt have started playing again on their channels. But this is a year later after they pretty much, you can tell they did not enjoy the game. They didn't really enjoy it. So, do they enjoy it now? Probably. OJ said that Chief Pat said he really likes it. Now, I know that's a lot of he said, she said, but hey, we got to take it where we can get it when it comes to speculation. So, now, as far as, Brawl Stars, it wasn't welcomed with the reception that they were probably expecting. They were expecting a reception on the level of Clash Royale, but it wasn't. And so that's why it stayed in beta for so long. It completely just beta. At this point, the reason I haven't made any videos lately is because I just feel like it's in development hell. It's stuck in beta. And I came to the conclusion a couple of weeks back that, this game, as amazing as it is and as great as it is, if it doesn't go global soon, they're probably going to can it. Because it just sounds from every single Brawl talk, from every single thing that they do, it just sounds like they're just, no, we're not ready for global. No, we're not ready for global. Global, we're not really thinking about it yet. And it's very frustrating to hear that from a creative standpoint, because your audience can only reach so far when something is in beta. Clash Royale was in beta for a couple of months, and then it was globally released. And from beta and going to global, it was a fucking nuke. It just blew everything else out of the water. So if they're trying to reach the metrics that Clash Royale reached when it was in beta, it's not going to happen. There's no way. Now, the reason for this is because Clash Royale was built on the heels of an already really popular Supercell game. It was built off of Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans is one of the biggest mobile games ever. Okay? So, for Clash of Clans to then get a spin-off game, and this game has all of the characters that you know and love from Clash of Clans, and you get a slightly better interaction with them than you did in Clash of Clans, and it's 1v1, and there's just so much about it that makes it, oh my god, that Clash Royale was destined to be amazing. From the minute that they decided, let's go ahead and do this based off of Clash of Clans, Clash Royale was destined to be amazing. So if they're trying to hit that bar, if they're trying to get on the same level of Clash Royale, it's not going to happen right now. There's no way it's going to happen right now. It's impossible. There's no way. Okay? So if that's what Supercell is looking for, the game is dead. I can promise you that. If they were looking for the exact same metrics that Clash Royale had upon beta in its couple of months, it's not going to happen. There's no way it's going to happen. They're not going to do it. So, what does this mean? This means that not enough players downloaded it. This means that not enough people played it for as long as they wanted them to play it. I was in a band formerly that, everyone who joined after a couple of weeks, they just stopped playing. And that was very frustrating, especially for me. I'm an insanely active player. I still play a lot every day. I log in, I get all my keys, I get all my star keys, everything. And it's very frustrating when you see people who they just started and they're like, hey, this game is pretty cool, what's going on? And you're like, oh yeah, man, hey, I'll help you out, this and that. And then next thing you know, a couple days later, they just stop playing because for whatever reason, they didn't like it, or it's too much, or they didn't unlock a character that they liked right away. Anyway, whatever the reason is, it didn't retain them. So that's a big thing. Supercell wants retention. Not to mention that the game is very, very short. I personally don't have a maxed out account, but it takes you about a year to max out an account. Okay? And that, I don't think that flies with Supercell. I don't think they're happy with that. I think they want it to be longer. They want for someone to pick up this game and play it for the next 5, 6, 7 years before they have a maxed out account, if they're free to play. If they're pay to win, man, Supercell's gonna love it even more because they'll be maxed out within the first couple of days, and Supercell will cash out big time. So that's what I'm thinking. Okay, I'm thinking it didn't meet the metrics that Clash Royale had, because Clash Royale set the bar so high, and I think that Brawl Stars in its 1 year of beta has not come, there's no way it's come even close to what Clash Royale did in a couple of months of beta. I don't remember exactly how long Clash Royale was in beta, but I do know it wasn't that long. It was a pretty short time. In fact, from the time I started playing, when Clash Royale first came out in beta, it was the Royal Arena was the highest arena. That was the pinnacle of arenas. There was no legendary, no builder's workshop. There was none of that. It was literally I think there was only like 5 or 6 arenas, maybe 7. I don't even remember. But I do know that everything was just so crazy and nothing like what it is now. So they broke through what they needed to break through and released it globally, and they've been fixing it ever since. They've been working on it, adding stuff here and there. Now it's at the point, the game is so good at this point that they are able to release monthly balance changes to literally anything they want to touch, or it's done. Why? Because everything got polished as they went. Do you guys remember when the Executioner first came out? When the Executioner first came out, his fucking axe would fly off the screen sometimes, and it would never come back, and he was literally stuck in position. That was a massive bug, and that wasn't something that was in beta. They were already well into being global, and they got that fixed. So Brawl Stars could do the same thing. All of these minor bug fixes that they talk about, these are all things that they can fix on the fly. They can fix it with an update. They can fix it with a maintenance break. It doesn't need to be this massive conglomerate all this time for global. It doesn't need to be all of that. It's just they are looking at metrics. They want it to have the same metrics as Clash Royale, and I don't think that's going to happen. And that's a very sincere opinion from me, and it's what I believe. I think that the game may very well be dead. I think they canned it, and they said, you know what, it's been a year. From a business standpoint, okay, I have a team of some of the most amazing, some of the best game developers in the world, okay. I could have these guys working on Clash Royale, on Clash of Clans, on Boom Beach, on Heyday. I can have these guys wherever the fuck I want, but I have them working on this game on the side, okay? And just like anybody, I'm going to give you a timeline, okay? I'm going to tell you, I want this game ready in 1 year. You know, you have a full year to get me the metrics. I want it to match the metrics of our best game, because we're not going to release something that's worse than our best game. We're only going to release stuff that's better. So when Brawl Stars didn't reach that development of, or those numbers that Clash Royale did, they just said, you know what? Time's up. We gave you a few extra months to maybe fix a few things, but yeah, it's not changing. Cut it. It's over. Forget it. Or it might be we had a full year, but because of their 6-week vacation, it went 6 weeks past the year. I don't know the dates exactly, but if you can fact check that and I'm right on it, then there you go. It's been exactly a full year since they've been allowed to work on this game. So that's where I'm coming from on the negative. I think it probably didn't meet the metrics that they wanted, and that's pretty much it. So, you know, the game may very well be dead. Again, is it fair for them to try and reach for Clash Royale levels of popularity in beta? No, not at all, because like I said, Clash Royale was built on the heels of Clash of Clans, and Clash of Clans already had a massive community. Clash of Clans was a juggernaut when they released Clash Royale, and now Clash Royale is its own juggernaut. So, and it's because of this. They use the same IP. They use all the same characters. There's new characters. Don't get me wrong, but it's the same everything as far as continuity. They built a universe around Clash of Clans, outside of Clash of Clans. So, can we say that it's fair for them to compare it and make the metrics try and reach Clash Royales? No. Because it's not the same characters. It's completely different characters. It's a completely different game. It's something entirely different. And that's why people are so adamant about it. Brawl Stars has a really big community. There is a really big community to Brawl Stars. And I think that if they ignore that, their next game is going to be pretty rough. It's going to be pretty rough because they're going to lose a big community, a really big community. People will be salty about Brawl Stars going down. Smashland, I don't really know what the community was like for it. I don't really know what what everybody was about on that, because I never played it. But if it was anywhere as big as the Brawl Stars community, which I doubt, they probably don't play Supercell games. And that's just me thinking from a gamer perspective. So yeah. Now, I know I've ranted for almost 20 minutes about the negative. Let's go over the positives and how this might be global. How it might possibly be global. So, you don't put a year of development. You don't polish characters. You don't give the community all of these things just to all of a sudden take it away. If the metrics were really looking so bad a couple of months ago, they never would have released Android. They never would have touched Android at all. But I believe that the metrics were trending in the positive. And with the metrics trending into the positive, they said, you know what? Let's release it for Android. Still in select countries, but let's release it for Android, because that's the next step. That's the next logical step. Okay? So, with that being said, it might be global. The reason they're taking everything off of their social media, everything off of everything, is because with the global launch comes a brand new perspective on it. Okay? Now, they were talking about fixing some stuff, polishing some characters, doing whatever they do. Mortis is the latest one we saw. He got a complete remodel. They remodeled him from head to toe, literally. So for them to do that, I don't think they would have done that. If everything was trending in the negative like we think, they wouldn't have done anything else. They would have simply done a few bug fixes and just said, hey, you know what? It's not looking too good. And the writing would have been on the wall, is what I'm trying to get to. Okay? The writing would have been on the wall. We would have seen, slowly but surely, Brawl Stars trending down. It would have not been doing so good. The last Brawl Talk would not have happened. If everything was trending in the negative, the last Brawl Talk wouldn't have happened. In fact, the last Brawl Talk, all they asked, it was a community roundtable, and they wanted a, hey, what do you guys want to see in the game? And that, to me, is a sign of, hey, we're done. This puppy's ready. Now what do you want? The car's built. What size rim do you want? And people asked for the Supercell ID, community maps, some other stuff, some voice acting, all that stuff. But I don't think the voice acting is important. I think you can give these characters a basic sound and nobody's going to care. So as far as the game being polished, I think it's as good as it's going to get. With a few bug fixes, yeah, they could make it better, but I think it's ready to go. And I think that's what this could potentially be. With them taking everything off of social media and hitting global, it's a fresh start. Okay? Think about it. If it releases globally, okay, and the global audience, when a game goes global, okay, your audience is gonna quadruple. Okay, right now they have 15% of the planet playing it, maybe, if that. And that's I'm talking just region wise, not player wise. Player wise, it's maybe like 0.5% of the world, but that's not the point. Region wise, it's 15% of the world where the game is available. So when they release the game globally and it's available literally everywhere, what's going to happen is everyone is going to jump in on it. It's a hot new game from Supercell. You really got to think about it. There's people playing Clash Royale who they don't download the beta of Brawl Stars because they don't want to get stuck in that the beta hell and all that. They don't want to get caught into it because they want a completed game, is the way they feel about it. So once the game goes global, you're going to have a lot of players who have been on Clash Royale waiting for Brawl Stars. They're going to jump in and start playing Brawl Stars. Okay? Does that mean that they're going to lose their interest in Clash Royale? Not at all. I can attest to that because I play both games. If I want to play a quick match of Clash Royale, it's a 3-minute match. I jump in, let's go, let's see if we can get some trophies, whatever. There's no big I'm not gonna say commitment, but there's no big, oh my god, I have to play this. Brawl Stars is the same way. It's you could play one game for a few minutes, and then once Clash Royale, you max out at your chests. Okay? Once you have 4 chests, you did your war attacks, you played for 45 minutes. Now you're just kind of like, all right, I'm done. But I still want to play. I still want to do something. So what do? I jump into Brawl Stars. I have 100 keys available. I got 4 star keys. I got to rank up a couple people because, I want to. And what do you know? Next thing you know, you play for another 45 minutes. You're invested in another Supercell game. And that's pretty much it. So if they're worried about losing people from Clash Royale, it's not going to happen. They're going to play both games. They're probably going to give up whatever other game they've been playing. But they're not going to give up Clash Royale. Once you start on Clash Royale, you don't leave. At least if you're a hardcore player. So anyway, I believe there is a chance that it might be global, because with them deleting everything off social media, everything's going to be a fresh start. You're going to have millions upon millions of new players joining onto the game. And instead of having an already established full-on Reddit page of bitching and a full-on Facebook page of bitching, because that's all the Brawl Stars community knows how to do, which if the game dies, I blame you guys for it, because you guys don't know how to take something awesome and run with it. All you know how to do is bitch about the stuff that, oh, it's not done. I hate that they did that. Fuck you. It's good, and if it's good enough for everyone else and you find you're the only one bitching, then something's wrong with you. Okay? So anyway, back to topic. All I'm saying is, if it is global, it's going to be a fresh start. Okay? They want a fresh start. They don't want people to come into this community of everyone just bitching constantly about, oh, this guy doesn't shoot right, oh, this guy's broken, no, they don't want to deal with none of that. They want a fresh start so everybody can take a look and judge for themselves. Everyone's going to come to the same conclusions, but they want everyone to do it at the same time. They want everyone to do it together, as opposed to being pre-influenced by all these negative Nancys that are on Reddit and Facebook and Twitter complaining to Supercell about their minor irrelevant bullshit. Okay? So, could it be global? Absolutely. It could be. I'm 50-50 on it, to be honest. I think it could be global. And if it is, I'm going to be really excited. I'm going to definitely try and pump out more videos more frequently, okay? But if the game dies, if it is done, if they decided to kill it, I can understand. And I hope that this Let's Talk video will explain why they decided to kill the game, okay? So hopefully, fingers crossed that it is global, okay? I don't think they would have done so much to it. I don't think they would have been on it a year. I don't think they would have done as many updates as they did. I don't think they would have done as much as they've done already. Supercell ID, a release to Android, releasing it to other countries, to the Asian countries, the Asian market. They released it there. I don't think that with them releasing to all of that, I don't think that they're going to just kill the game. But if they do, it's going to be based on the metrics that Clash Royale set, which means that the next game that Supercell releases is going to be in one hell of a spot. So here's why. And I'm going to close the video with this, because I know this is already a 30-minute video. Okay? This is a free 30 minutes to help you think and occupy your time before we get into the Let's Talk video. So, if they can the game, if they kill it, it's over, no more Brawl Stars, sorry everybody, fuck you, you're done, right? Alright, cool. The next game that Supercell pumps out has to do three things. Number one, it has to be on the heels of Clash Royale. If that is what they want, they have literally fucked themselves as a company. Okay? Because they will have zero variety in the games. Okay? Don't get me wrong, it's great that Clash of Clans built this amazing foundation. That's amazing. I love that. But as a company, you want to be able to release different products to hit different demographics and have different audiences. Okay? If you have one specific thing, one specific formula, and you think that this is the only thing that's going to work, it might work for maybe another game, maybe 2 more games, but that's as far as it's going to go. Where if you start if you start thinking outside the box and you start bringing in other things, Brawl Stars, and maybe another different game, and maybe another different game, and all these other types of ideas, you're going to have a much wider audience. You're going to have a much bigger influence on everything. Okay? So that's number one. If you think that the Clash of Clans IP is the only thing that's going to make you money, it will, but you can only back that horse for so long. Okay? Number 2, Clash Royale is on a fucking pedestal, not even on the roof. That thing flies 600 feet above your house. That's how high that pedestal is. Okay? So, if you think that any game that you release is going to hit that level of hype without being a Clash of Clans IP, you're sadly mistaken, and you better be prepared to kill every single game that's not a Clash of Clans that's not a stepping stone from Clash of Clans. You better be prepared to get all of these people, develop a game, waste your time, energy, and money into developing it, and then throwing it away because it's not going to be successful for that reason. Okay? So, that's number 2. Number 3. Okay? If they decide that the metrics for Clash Royale are where every single game has to be, it is the beginning of the end of Supercell. Okay? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I love Supercell. I think the company is amazing. I think their games are top of the line. Every game they've released that I have played has been top of the line. Except maybe Heyday. Heyday wasn't that great in my opinion, but I do know that Heyday has a very large following of its own. It's just not my cup of tea. Okay? And that's what I mean as far as generalization and being able to hit different demographics. While I don't think Heyday is fun or amusing, my 6-year-old cousin loves it. And she thinks it's great and she plays it quite a bit. So, what does that tell you? There's something for everyone. And Brawl Stars could be for a lot of people. Okay? So, anyway, let's keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully, it is not the game getting killed. Hopefully, it is not them bitching about demographics and statistics and the numbers and retention. Hopefully, it's not any of that. I genuinely hope that it is Ryan. I want it to be a 6-second or a 1-minute stream where Ryan gets on and he says, "Global, this day, get ready," and just shuts the laptop. Done. And I hope that that's what happens, and that the social media is a reboot so that all the new players can come in and start having fun without having a full year's worth of bitching to be able to look through and help them decide whether or not they're going to like this game. Okay? So, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I know it's really long. I'm really sorry if you stuck through to the end. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I just really needed to rant about this because Brawl Stars is important to me, and I think it's such a great game, and it would be a damn shame if they kill it. Hopefully they don't. Fingers crossed. I will see you guys in the live stream.